Hello, this is another palm reading session. We would be reading a hand of a particular person, and before I basically start my reading, I would request you to press the bell icon on YouTube and don't miss another update. You can get a paid palmistry reading if you go through my email. You can contact me via email or my phone number. I'm from India. So now we straight away head to this particular hand reading session. Many people ask me for an online reading. In online reading, because the person is not physically present, that is the reason why I ask few questions. Like the questions are: structure of the hand includes bone structure and the padding. If a person is, and it would be categorized into strong structured, medium structured, or weak structured hand. When you are shaking hand with somebody, does your hand overpower the other person's hand, or your hand gets overpowered by the other person's hand? Some people just have a tendency to crush other people's hand. I wouldn't call that as a strong structured hand always, but they may be. Overpowering does not mean crushing the other person's hand. So I would just explain to you how in this particular hand that we are seeing, it's a strong structured hand, and what are the basically meanings for a strong structured hand. Then we also ask, compared to your body, is your hand very big, small, very small? Skin feel, how is it? Very hard, soft, very soft, flexibility, extreme flexibility, inflexible, or superly flexible. So these are the things that basically we ask. Now we straight away head to this particular hand image. You would notice, looking at these hand images, that the bone structure appears to be very strong. Like the fingers have got a strong bones, and they are thick bones, and the padding over the mounts is also prominent. So in palm reading, greater importance is given to the structure of hand compared to just the lines. There's a misconception that lines would bring you everything. It need not be. We have to look at the structure of the hand. Some people might have a feeble kind of a hand. Feebleness means they are extremely appearing to be extremely weak. So those hands are basically hands of people from whom everything slips out. Like if they are working with their cousins, or their cousins is going to take everything. If they have got a separate business, probably their servants are going to overpower them. So a weak structured hand is not necessarily a good hand. In this case, because the structure of the hand is strong structured hand basically means getting a better hold over people, money, and resources. So this is an extremely good part of the hand that we see out here. See, lines do matter, but lines become better with a strong structured hand. Even if somebody has got excellent kind of lines, excellent money line, excellent sun line, excellent Mercury line, even they may not give as much result as a strong structured hand with even comparatively weaker kind of lines. So this is the reason why I wanted to tell you regarding the strong structured hand. You yourself can basically visualize that his hand appears to be very well structured. So, and padding over a particular area basically means that that particular area becomes prominent. Prominence of a particular area means those qualities are present in that particular person, and this is basically the area of Venus. This person basically mentioned he's around the age of 50 plus. So normally what happens is that in the early period of our life, everybody is going to be saying that we have got immense amount of energy and stamina and these kind of things, but these energies do not last. So how do we see if a person would have unlimited kind of energies and unlimited desires? So the area of Venus is the area for our desires and energy and stamina and the fuel within us. So in spite of the person getting older, moving towards an old age, still the person has got the same kind of intense desire that the person had when the person was 25 or even earlier. So these people can compete with the younger lot in a better way compared to a person who doesn't have a padded area of mount of Venus, because Venus is all about energy. And this is there are two areas that are of prime importance regarding the health and energy. The first area is the area of Mars. Mars is the area that is starting near the lifeline. This is the lifeline, and this is the area of your Venus. So Mars is the fire within you. There's a spark that happens out here. That's why your life basically originates out here. And then basically Venus provides all the energy. So these two areas, if they are good, this area appears to be good because they have got less lines, and less lines basically mean that these areas are positive. See, normally what happens is that some people might have very crisscrossing these kind of lines out here and crisscrossing lines out here. Those things would mean that these two areas, the area of Mars and the Venus, gets overworked. Overworking basically mean that they are misusing their fire and misusing their fuel. So people who misuse their fire and fuel, they basically are going to get tired as they are growing older. So misusing of fire and fuel should not be there in your life. People who do that, they basically might not achieve as much success as these people can. So this is one most positive aspect. It doesn't mean that these people have got a cakewalk, everything is perfect. It doesn't mean that. They might have an imperfect life, yet they have that intense desire to make it better, and they are not bogged down. They are not like going down with age. So this is one positive aspect. You might be wondering why I am taking a look at the left hand of this particular person, because he's a male. So see, it doesn't matter much if we take a look at the left hand or the right hand, provided both hands show similar kind of indication. And as it is, we do not ignore the left hand. Left hand also tells us many possibilities, and left hand also tells like what might have happened in the past, and right hand is more of the present, left is passive hand. But we do not ignore the left hand. Whatever good or bad things that are there in your left hand, they might play out in your case. So this is one aspect. Now we take a look at few things. One more thing I need to add out here is take a look at this particular lifeline, how during this particular portion it is kind of going an extra mile ahead. Normally what happens is people, they have a lifeline something like this, or maybe a little bit more than this, something like this. They may have a lifeline like this. So it means that lesser coverage area comes to Venus. This is the area of fuel, and lesser coverage area for Mars. So lesser coverage area of Venus or Mars basically depict less amount of fire and less amount of fuel. So those things basically, if a person doesn't have those things, then basically the person is not going to be successful. So the more the encircling means more the area of desires coming. Like imagine this to be the playground. Okay, this area to be the playground. This is the area of your fuel tank. If it's a big fuel tank, more fuel can be accommodated out here, and this is the more area of fire. So more fire within us, more burning desire within us to make our life better. See, these things are the things that make a person successful. People think that they should have a M or a Trishul or these kind of things. Yeah, M is, as it is, a fake kind of a sign. I do not value this particular sign. Everybody basically has it. A beggar has it, and a very rich person also has it. So you shouldn't basically look at this particular sign at all in your hand. There are other signs that are good. This is basically the money line, and money line is originating on the mount of Moon. There's another money line which is starting at an early age and kind of ending before the age of 33, 34, 35. That's the age when it ends and a new line basically takes over. So a line that comes from the mount of Moon brings in benefit from foreign countries, staying away from their birthplace, or with the association of foreigners. And association of foreigners can be in a foreign country or in your home country as well. And help from females can come in the form of mother, sister, wife, a daughter. All these things would bring in benefits. So it's a positive aspect. Apart from this, you would notice that there's a Mercury line also present out here. These are the Mercury lines, and there's a money triangle that is getting formed. So a money triangle is basically a triangle that is angling towards three planets: Saturn, Sun, and Mercury. Saturn is the area for money. This is the area for your career. Sun and Mercury is for your skill. So a triangle that is pointing towards the amount of Mercury, and specifically at this particular age, and this age could be probably around the age of 28, 29, 30. That I would say around 30. That's when the real benefits might have started to take place in his case. And a perpendicular strong line on the amount of Mercury means that this person has got a strong set of skills, and skills is a thing that brings in success. He is aged 50, so the money line is kind of ending somewhere on the heart line. So this is when 53 age, this is when few changes might take place. So this is one aspect. Then the money line is kind of angling more towards Jupiter. Jupiter is basically not for money. This is more for high position and honor and spirituality. But if the money line goes straight towards the amount of Sun, then it is basically considered to be a better sign. But it's not as bad as we think, because the heart line is coming and ending purely on the amount of Saturn. Money line has its importance, but we have to take each and every line if we have to look for money matters. So a heart, we have to look at the heart indication, the inclination of your heart. And the inclination of your heart is when the heart line ends on the amount of Saturn. It depicts that the person is good at managing money, the person is responsible, the person is materialistic, and the person knows how to manage money well for himself and for his company as well. So it is both case, and such people are good at managing wealth, and they accumulate more money compared to the other people. So you have to have a heart inclination, and these people are highly responsible towards whomever they care. Like they might have a self-centered approach, or they might have a wider approach towards their family, or towards their community, or towards their city or a state. So wherever they target, they are going to get result. And the sun line is also reasonably good out here. This is starting somewhere at the age of 44 and continuing. This age is 53, and this is 53 and beyond. Now we move on to the right hand. Basically the right hand, again the similar kind of indication are seen as that we were seeing in the left hand. The same kind of in this hand, it's a even better kind of a money triangle, and out here, and the age is approximately 28, 29. That's when things might have started in a good way and positive way. The meaning of money triangle is it's forming with the combination of Mercury line. Mercury is skill, money line is money, and the headline is the thought process line. So a combination of all these three lines bring in benefit somewhere at the age of 30. But there could have been some set of problems as well. In his case, you'll notice that this is the headline and this is the money line. So the intersection is age 35 over here on the headline and the money line. So this portion of the headline is before the age of 35, and you would notice that there's an island like formation out here somewhere at the age of probably 30 or so, 31 or so. An island just under the Saturn area basically brings in depression during that particular period, or stomach related issues. So these things might have played out, but because the hand has strength, so these things would not have played out in a major way, and they would have been contained. Other part of the hand is that this is the lifeline, and there are many backward, upward kind of lines that are constantly moving towards the finger. These are constant small lines. These small lines are the lines of luck. So these are there in abundance. So this is a good sign, and out here you would notice that there's a kind of a break out here, and the life is starting in a new way at this particular point. And this age could be approximately it could be around the age of 35 plus. So that's when few changes might have taken place. Health might have been affected during that particular year. There's a break in the lifeline, so there could have been few problems during, as it is at a later stage. Sometimes these lines that are coming from the amount of Mars, these horizontal lines, and that touch your lifeline or the headline or the money line, brings in problem. Like a problem might have come somewhere at the age of 35 or so. So those problems could have, but as such, because of a good amount of Venus, the area of desires and stamina, and a reasonably good amount of Mars, these things would have a kind of supported this particular person, and the person might not have been affected as much as the person could have been if these areas were not prominent. So even with this island, I wouldn't basically say much. There could have been problems, I wouldn't deny that, but still things would have been fine. And there's a good balance between the head and the heart line, almost the same length. So a very, very predictable kind of a person. People love predictability, and people love to be near people who are predictable. And predictability, what it brings is that it brings people much more closer. Venus is prominent out here, so these people are warm by nature. So warmth, these people can make lots of partnerships, and business partnership or relationship wise, people get attracted to them because of their warmth. And as it is, the area of Mercury is good. There are less lines over it. There are less lines over the amount of Saturn also. See, lesser lines is always considered to be good, because less lines basically depict that the person is not kind of creating roadblocks where benefits might come about in his life. See, many people who have got crisscrossing lines over the hand, basically they are themselves restricting the benefits that might come to them. The padded area, as such, the whole palm is appearing to be padded. It means richness. Richness is not only in terms of money. Richness can also be in content, and people who are rich in content can automatically create lots of money for themselves and for their family. So less lines is always good. As it is, you would find that the sun line is becoming better after the age of 53. This is 53 and beyond on the sun line. A strong sun line basically depicts that the career is going to be good during that particular period. The heart line is distinct and clear, so the person does not get too much stressed. Out here, there are two or three islands. Apart from that, still, if we look at the heart line, it's deep and clear. So it's a positive, very, very positive sign for all aspects of your life. Even money matters, because normally what happens is people get stressed, and once stress comes, they basically are not able to perform. But out here, the person is able to perform even during stressful situations, and the person basically finds a way out to be to solve the problems and come out of the problems. I would basically just take a look at his hand, a few more things that I might want to say. And this, you would notice these islands that you see much more clearly. Islands are elongated periods of emotional stress. Minor 2-3 islands out here. Then the sun line is reasonably good. Mercury line is a little bit weak, but still clear. So skills is there. And let's take a look. There are 2 Mercury lines and reasonably strong, which means 2 set of strong skills. Some people confuse this as to be the lines of health. I basically merge the health, the liver line, and the technical skill line, the Mercury line, into one. See, these are these are all the same kind of lines. It's just we have to interpret them in a different way that I've explained in other videos. Too many lines out here basically means, and break lines basically means overworking of the mind. And overworking mind mind also needs rest. So if the mind is resting, then basically new ideas can come in. So having less lines over the mount of Mercury means new ideas and new learning can be taken up much faster compared to people who have got too many lines out here. So that's it for this particular reading. I hope you like this particular video. If you like this video, click on the like button and do subscribe to my channel. And before I end this particular video, I would request you to go through these slides. People think that money line is everything. In this video, I've explained to you how other lines also play a part. Money line importance is only 15% in any person's hand. Even the heart line, head line, the technical skill line, Mercury line, Venus, Mars area, everything basically can point to money matters. A saint once said, you do not need to go to an astrologer or a palmist to know about your future, because you already know your future. Present is a result of past. How will be my future? Future depends upon what you are doing in the present. What are we? We are product of our thoughts. So the thoughts that come to our mind are really important. Keep positive thoughts. Keep positive, good company around you, because that is what matters. Even if you have got negative signs, they might not apply in your life. Thanks, bye, and take care.